Hello everybody, it's Pina here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make this cat sweater. I've got two here, two different sizes. They're both from, I would say, 6 months upwards. This fits my cat who's 6 months, but it's very stretchy, so you can go, it can fit a full-grown cat as well. You can get the head through. This is just a shorter one, if you like a shorter version and a longer version. Today I'm going to show you how to make this colour, this grey and pink, and the longer version in this colour. It's got this one here's got, I don't know if you can see on camera, but it's got a very sparkly, it's got a bit of sparkle in there. Can you see the sparkle? And it's got the ribbed sort of collar, and it's got the shell edging for the base of the sweater. So it's for a girl cat, this one. You can adapt it for a male cat. You don't have to put the frilly edge. You've got the two armholes here and the collar. So this is two different types I've made. They're both grey and a different shade of pink. Today I'm going to show you how to use this yarn here. It's a sparkly yarn, and I'm going to make it the same length as this one, a little bit longer. So for this tutorial you're going to need a 4.5mm hook. If you can see that, that's 4.5mm hook. And you're going to need some yarn, which is any yarn that you can find, but this one here is like a DK knit yarn. It's, as you can see, it's 95% acrylic, and it's, you're supposed to use a 6.5 6 or 5, well, 5 or 6mm hook you can use on this one. I'm using a 4.5. Depends how big you want it. If you want it big, go up a size in the hook. You can use a 5mm hook. This is a 4.5. So this one here is shade number, letter starting S 00068. So it's grey sparkle, and it's baby sparkle knitting yarn. It's called baby sparkle knitting yarn. It's by Little Dreams Boutique. Don't know if you've heard of that one. I got it in a cheap yarn shop. This one here was £2.50, and you can see the sparkle in it. It's quite pretty actually. It's got this kind of turquoisey sparkle to it, and that's for the base of the sweater. For the collar and the shell edging at the base, we're going to use, I've got some spare pink double K yarn, DK yarn, which I'm going to use up for the collar and the base. So let's get started. Right, for this beginning part we're going to need the pink, so, or whatever colour you choose. I mean, you may choose a blue if it's a boy. Probably don't want the what do you call it, the frilly edging, that's for sure. Not if it's a boy. You can just put a normal sort of ribbing edging, which is the same as the collar. But anyway, this time I'm showing you for a girl kitten, and for this you're going to need to chain 36 for this. For the start of this project you need to chain 36. So let's get started. Let's do a chain of 36. So yarn over your finger like that, pull through the yarn with your hook, and you do a slip knot onto your hook and tighten up. So let's do 36 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. So that's your chain of 36. Okay, now for this next row, we're going to, first of all, we're going to join this into a circle. So to join into a circle, you need to make sure it's straight first of all, and bring it round into the straight, so it's perfectly straight, as you can see, all the way around. And you want to just make sure your yarn is there, and I like to sort of crochet my yarn ends into as I go along. But first of all, we're going to do a slip stitch into the first chain, which is just here, if you can see, just there. So I'm going to do a slip stitch into that chain. Making sure the yarn is out of the way, so you're going to pull up a loop all the way through, and there you go, you've done your slip stitch. So now you've got your circle and you've got your little bit of yarn there, so that's going to be woven in as you go along, as you crochet along. So the next thing you do is you have to chain double crochet, first of all chain 3 and then double crochet all the way around. We're going to double crochet all the way around, so we're going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, chain 3. Now for this part we're going to actually do double crochets all the way around until you have 36 double crochets. So if we double crochet, yarn over once, and you put your hook into first stitch, and make sure your yarn is tucked away behind, so you can then pull up a loop underneath and do a double crochet. That's double crochet. So it's 36 including this chain 3. So we're going to go ahead and do 36 double crochets. So here we go, so that's 1, that's 2 there, sorry, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've done 7 here. I'm just going to show you what that looks like, so you know. So you've got your 7 double crochets. Now you need to go all the way around until you come to this end, 36 of those, and I'll meet you on your last double crochet. Okay, so we're now at the other end, and I've done 35. I'm on my 36th double crochet. So yarn over, and I'm going to pop my hook into the last one and pull up a loop through 2, there you go, that's your last one. Now for this one you're going to slip stitch into the 3rd chain up. So 1, 2, 3, your 3rd chain up, you need to slip stitch. So just pop your hook into that one and just do a slip stitch. So now you've got all of your 36 double crochets all the way around, and that's what it's supposed to look like. Okay, so now for this next row number 3, you're going to do front posts and back posts, and that's going to form the ridging of the pattern, the collar. So we're going to do front posts and back posts double crochet. So for this next one, we start with a front post, and this one here is your first. So you're going to do a chain of 3 first of all. 1, 2, 3. Chain 3. Okay. Now in this next one here, just here, not this one, but this one here, you're going to do a front post double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook underneath this front post, pull up a loop, yarn over, oops, pull through 2 and pull through 2 again. That's your first. Now we're going to do a back loop. So for this one, we're going to yarn over and we're going to go into the back of the next one, which is just there. So you're in the back, pull up a loop, oops, let's do that again, yarn over into the back, pull up a loop, and there you go. So that's your back loop, back post, sorry, and then yarn over and into the front of the next one. Yarn over into the back of the next one, pull up the loop from behind, making sure you don't go through all the loops at once, and then do the same as you would do as a double crochet. There you are at the back, and then yarn over, front post, double crochet, yarn over, back post into the next one, double crochet, yarn over, front post, double crochet, yarn over, and a back post. Make sure you get the right one. Back post, there you go. Double crochet, yarn over, front post, double crochet, yarn over, and back post, double crochet. Okay, so now you get the hang of that. Go all the way, doing the same thing all the way around until you get to the other end, and when you get to your last double crochet into your post, I will tell you what to do next. Okay, so we're back at the other end, and I've completed 35 back post and front post double crochets all the way around, so it's got this lovely little ridging effect, as you can see. Now the last one you do is supposed to be you should end up on a front post as your last double crochet. So we're going to yarn over for this one, and we're going to go into that last front post there. So put your hook in, pull up, yarn over, pull through 2 and pull through 2, and that's your last one. Now you've got the chain 3 here, so now we're going to have to slip stitch into the top of that third chain. So 1, 2, 3, the third chain up, and I'm going to put our hook in there and slip stitch. There you go. So you've got a solid finish at the end. Got that nice sort of ridging. So that's the first round of back post, front post, double crochet. We're going to do now another row. So what we're going to do, chain up 3 again. So that's 1, 2 and 3. Okay, and again you're going to go into the this time you're going to go into exactly what you see. So basically you've got a front post, back post, front post, back post, and so on. Now you just follow, it's easier now because you just follow and go into the relevant one. So yarn over, and you're going to go into this front post, the next front post. I'll show you that one. Pull up a loop and do a double crochet into there. Now, because you've got a back post already there, we're going to go into the back post again this time. So yarn over and into the back post. Just find the back post which you worked into the previous round, pull up a loop and yarn over and double crochet completed. Yarn over and into the front, because that's showing up. As you can see, the front is, you can see it quite clearly, it's there, the front post. You just go in, pull up a loop, pull through two, pull through two. So you've now got the sequence following on from the last row. So yarn over and into the back post now. Follow the back post, which is already there. The back post is just there. You can just see it. That's the back post. So we're going to pull through. I'll do a couple more so you can get the hang of it. So yarn over, front post, which is already there, as you can see. Pull through two, and another two. And now yarn over and back post. Now your back post is just there. So put your hook in to the back post. And pull through. Front post, back post. And continue all the way along until you get to the other end. I'll see you in a moment. Okay, so we're back at the other end and we've done another set of back post, front post and so on, and we've come to the last one, which should be a front post. You should end up on a front post. So yarn over, put your hook in, pull up a loop, yarn through two, there we go. So you've got that. Now you need to slip stitch in this last row, and it's 1, 2, third one up, third chain up, put your hook in and slip stitch. Okay, so for the next round we're going to do a single crochet all the way round. So we're going to do this single crochet border just at the end of this collar bit, and for that you need to chain one. So we're going to chain one. Okay, so now that you've chained one, you want to single crochet into the same stitch that you've just chained one into. So single crochet into that same stitch. Okay, so that's one single crochet. Now you're going to single crochet all the way along into the top of all these V's. These are double crochet V's in every single one of them until the other end. You're going to single crochet. So single crochet, single crochet, single crochet, all the way around. Single crochet, so making sure you don't skip any, all the way around. So I'll let you do that. It's pretty straightforward. Single crochet all the way around to the other end, and I'll meet you on your last single crochet. Okay, so we've come to the end of this collar round. But next round we're going to start joining the next colour, and that's the sparkly grey, or whatever colour you're using. That's the next stage. So for this bit we're going to slip stitch. First of all, I've got to do my last single crochet into the last stitch, and we're going to slip stitch into the top of the very first single crochet, and we're going to start the colour change from here. So I'm going to put my hook into that stitch, okay, going to pull up a loop. Now I'm going to put that down for a minute, and I'm going to snip this colour off right now. So now you've got your colour snipped off. You're going to add the new colour now. So the new colour comes in. What you do is you take the yarn, leaving a little bit of yarn hanging off, and you're going to slip that colour through like so. There you go, that's your new colour in. Now you've got the two ends of yarn here, and I'm going to just cut it down a little bit more so that it'd be easier to weave in as you go along. So I'm going to cut them both down equally. So now you've got your two yarns to weave in with the crochet, and you can just pull tight. There you go, you've got the yarn in, just pull tight. Right, now for this round we're going to do double crochets. Now you've got your colour. So this round we're going to chain up 3 here, because we're going to go into every single stitch with a double crochet. So for this bit, let's chain up 3. So 1, 2, 3, and that counts as your first double crochet. So the next stitch we're going into, just make sure you're going into the right stitch, is this stitch here. So we're going to do a double crochet. That's our very first one. So yarn over, insert your hook into that stitch, bringing into the hook also the 2 straggly ends of the yarn, and pull up a loop and do your double crochet, yarn over, there you go. So that's your first 2 double crochets, because this is counting as a double crochet. So yarn over into the next, picking up the 2 loose ends of yarn, and do your double crochet. Okay, so that's that one. So yarn over into the next one, and double crochet. There you go. So you're going to do this all the way along until you have 36 double crochets. So making sure that you keep the yarn ends tucked away as you crochet. So there you go. So you yarn over, in you go, and so you've got, this is beginning to hide behind the crochet. So continue doing that all the way around until you get to the other end, and I'll show you how to finish off this round. Okay, so we're at the end of this round, and this is round 6 of double crochet. Now we're going to now do the same again, another round of the same. So I'm just going to do my last double crochet into there, and that's 36 double crochets all the way around, and I'm going to slip stitch into the top of the 3rd chain again. So 1, 2 and 3, there's the top of that. Oops. Okay, so that's the slip stitch. So slip stitch completed. Now you're going to chain 3 again. So that's 1, 2 and 3. And we're going to do a double crochet all the way around in every single stitch. So starting from there, double crochet, double crochet, double crochet. There you are. So now you've got your double crochet on this round, so work your way round to the other end until you get to this end, and I'll meet you again and tell you what to do next. Okay, so we're now at this end again, at the end of round 7, and I'm going to do my last double crochet into that stitch. There we go. That's your last one. So again, slip stitch at the top of a chain 3. Oops. Okay. That's slip stitch. So now you've done the 2 rows of the grey. We're going to do a third row now. The third row starts with a chain of 3. So that's 1, 2 and 3. And for this round, slightly different, we're going to do 3 double crochets, including the chain. That's included as a third double crochet. And then we're going to do 2 double crochets in 1 stitch after that. So yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch and do a double crochet, yarn over into the next stitch and do a double crochet. So that's 3 double crochets there. Into the next stitch we're going to do a 2 double crochets into that stitch. Okay, so yarn over and insert your hook, because we're increasing now a little bit. So on this round we're doing an increase, so we'll do 2 into the same stitch, 2 double crochets into that same stitch. There you go, you can see that. And you're going to do that all the way. I'm going to do a few more. So that's yarn over and 3 double crochets in each, 1 double crochet in each of the 3 stitches. So that's 2 and 3. So that's 3 separate double crochets, and then an increase, which is 2 into the same stitch. So that's 1 and 2. Okay, now 1 in each of the 3 stitches. So 1, 2, oops, and 3. Got some of, you've got to be careful sometimes because the thread gets pulled as well. So there we go, 3 and 2 into the next stitch all together. So that's 1, 2. So there you go. So what you do all the way round, follow the same pattern. So you've got 3 double crochets, 2 in the same stitch, 3 double crochets, 2 in the same stitch, 3 double crochets and 2 in the same stitch, and so on. And I'll meet you at the other end. Okay, we're back again, and we've just completed that last increase row, which is row 8. And at the end here you should finish off with 2 double crochets into the same stitch to follow the pattern. So then you've got 2 in the same stitch, 3 separate, 2, 3 and so on. So you should have 2 into that same last stitch. So let's do the last 2. 1, 2. Okay, so now you've done the last 2, you should have 45 stitches all the way around, because this is the increased row. Now for this next row, what we're going to do, this is row 9, slip stitch again into the 3rd chain. Let's do that one. So that's 1, 2, 3. Okay, slip stitch into the 3rd chain. And for this one you're going to chain up 3. So 1, 2, 3. Chain up 3. Okay, now for this you're going to do we're going to do these bits now. We're heading for the armholes for the cat or kitten. So for this bit, what we're going to do, it's not the pink bit yet, we're on the grey bit, so we're going to make space to add this pink rim. So for this bit we're going to, we've chained up 3, okay, and now that we've chained up 3, we're going to, that chain 3 is included as one of the 3 double crochets that we're going to do next. So 3 double crochets including that. Okay, so that's yarn over, put your hook in to the next stitch, 1 double crochet, yarn over and 2. Oops. So you've got your, oops, sorry, 3 double crochets there, okay, all together. Now we're going to chain 6. We're going to chain 6, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Chain 6, and we're going to skip stitch, and into the 7th stitch we're going to do a double crochet. So skip 6 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's count that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and into the 7th stitch, which is this stitch here, 7th stitch, we're going to do a double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook into that, pull up a loop and do your regular double crochet. So you've got that space there, okay, and now we're going to do 28 double crochets all the way around. 28, not all the way, but just do 28 until you get nearer to this bit to do the next armhole hole. So the 28 of these now. So yarn over and 28 double crochets. So that's 28 including this one, the one we just done. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, oops, let's get some more yarn, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So you've got 28 all the way up until this bit here. Okay, so we've come to this bit here and we're going to chain 6. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for the other armhole, and we're going to skip stitch, and into the 7th we put a double crochet. So let's count 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and into the 7th, yarn over, you do a double crochet. So that's a double crochet, and that locks that in the other armhole. Now you're going to do a yarn over and another double crochet. That's 2 in total after the 6 chains, and you're going to join that together. So you've got two on that side and 1 in the middle, 1 double crochet. There's 5 altogether that divide the 2 armholes. There's 5 double crochets altogether when you join it up. So for this bit, we're going to do a slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 at the beginning. So let's just put our hook in, pull through and slip stitch. So if I just take my hook out, you can see the effect now. So you've got this center panel in the middle with 5 double crochets. You've got your chain 6 armholes and your back, and those armholes are later going to be trimmed up with a little trimming, a pink trimming like this one here. We're going to put a trimming on the edge. So for this next bit, we're going to do this. For this bit, we're going to double crochet. We're going to do a chain of 3 again to start the next round, and this is row number or round number 20. Sorry, I don't know why I'm saying 20, but okay, this is round number 11. So chain 3, okay, and we're going to go into the next. We're going to do a double crochet. First of all, 3 double crochets we start with, so that counts as 1, the chain 3. So that's 1, yarn over into the next one, that's 2, yarn over into the next one, that's 3 double crochets to start with, and into this chain, we're now going to do 6 double crochets into the chain. So making sure you get every single chain. So yarn over and into the first one, that's 1 double crochet, yarn over, 2, yarn over, 3, yarn over, 4, yarn over, 5, yarn over, and 6 into this last one. So now you've got your sort of border around of the grey, and we're going to continue all the way around. Basically we're going to go into every stitch and do a double crochet until this beginning of this end, and I'll show you what to do when we get to the other armhole. Just continue all the way around doing a double crochet into every single stitch that you see, and yarn over and into the next one, to the next one, and so on. Okay, so continue doing that until you get to the beginning of the next armhole. Hi again. So we've come to the end of this round, which is almost at the end, which is the 11th round, and that's double crochets worked into the chain So we've done that bit on this side, and we've come up to the other end now, and what we're going to do is I'm going to do my last double crochet of this bit here, which insert your hook into that stitch, and now we're going to go into these 6 of these chains and do a double crochet. And then when we come to here, we're going to do just 2, finish off with 2 double crochets to balance out like the others, mirror the other side. Okay, so yarn over and insert your hook into these 6 of these chains. So that's 1, 2, yarn over, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 chains. 6 chains. And now 2 double crochets in the top of these 2 double crochets as well. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, insert your hook, and we've come to the end of this round, and I'm going to slip stitch on the top of the chain 3 again. So let's just insert our hook and slip stitch. So I'll just show you what it looks like at this stage now. So you've got two armholes, done the 2 armholes and the collar. And for round 12, what we're going to do in round 12, now this all depends how long you want this. You could have this short and have this one here has got only, let's have a look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 rows of grey. Whereas this one here, this other longer one, has got all together 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 rows of grey. Okay, I'm going to do the 14 rows today. You can make it shorter if you want. You don't have to have this length. We can have it this length shorter, but you can adjust it to your cat, the size of your cat or kitten. You can adjust it. So you can make it, at this stage, you can make it as long as you want. So I'm going to do 5 more rows. Actually no, I'm going to do more than 5 because I'm going to make it this length. So I'm going to do all my rows of, let's see, from the bottom of the let's have a look, hold on a second. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to do 9 more rows. 9 more rows. So it comes to this length here. 9 more rows. And as I said, you can make it as long or as short as you want it. Just measure it against your cat when you get to the length that you like. So I'm going to leave you now to do as many rows as you want. I'm going to do 9 more, and I'm going to meet you at the end of the rows that you've done. Okay, everybody, welcome back. We've come to the very end now of your cat sweater. And I've made it the extra long version, so it's a little bit longer. I think this has got 14 rows altogether from top of the grey to the bottom, and this one's got about 10, so that's the difference. So it's entirely up to you. You can go further if you want. You can make it even longer, make it 16, 17 or 18 rows or whatever else you need it to be. So I've gone 14 rows altogether from the start of the change of colour of grey to the end. So at the very end, I've now got my last stitch done, double crochet stitch, and for this bit, because we're changing the colour now, I'm going to do the shells. We're going to do the first row of shells. Okay, so for this we need to change colour. So I've got my new colour here. This is my new colour, the pink. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to sort of attach my new colour. So the colour change, this is how I do the colour change. Everyone does it slightly different, but this is the way I like to do it. So you just insert your hook now into the top of the third chain, because you're going to do your slip stitch, but you're going to do a change of colour slip stitch. So you pull up a loop, okay, and we're going to cut this bit off now because we don't need this grey anymore. So I'll leave it about that much, don't need much really, because that's going to be crocheted in, and you're going to add your new colour. So the 2 loops that you've got there on your hook, you're going to slip the new colour through. So grab the yarn and just pull through the 2 loops like this. So you've got those bits of yarn now sort of hanging out. I'm just going to level it off and make sure the grey is about the same size as the pink. Okay, so for this bit, now you've changed your colour, you're going to pull this a bit tight so that it all stays in place. So pull the strands, pull the grey and the pink, pull both colours, whatever colour you're using, so it's nice and tight. There you go. Right, so you've got your new colour locked in. Now you're going to chain 1. Okay, now for this bit, because we're doing the shells, and the shell consists of 5 double crochets in each shell, and you should have 12 going all the way around, depending on how big you've made this. I'm gonna the old this one here had 12 shells all the way around. So we're going to start with the first shell. Now for this bit, you're going to take your yarn and hold your ends close to the edge, and you're going to skip a stitch here. So you skip the first double crochet, you want to skip that, yarn over, and you want to put your hook into the next sorry, I've done that wrong, sorry. So basically skip a stitch, which is this one here. That's your first double crochet, if you can see the V there. The second one, you want to do a single crochet to start with. Put in your hook, pull up a loop and pull through 2. That's a single crochet. Now you want to yarn over and you want to skip a stitch. You skip a stitch here, go into the next one and do a double crochet into that one. That's 1 double crochet. Right, so you want to do 5 in the same stitch. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's 5 in the same stitch, and your yarn is being sort of woven in. So for this bit, we're going to again skip a stitch. So the next single crochet, skip that one, and into the next one, which is this one here, yarn. You need to do a single crochet. So we're going to do a single crochet into that stitch, just to pin down the shell. Single crochet. Okay, so now what you've got here, you've got 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now that you've done your 5, you're going to yarn. We're going to yarn over, and we're going to skip a stitch, and into the next, we're going to do another shell. So that's 5 double crochets into the same stitch. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so that's 5 into the same stitch, and again we're going to pin it down, so we're going to skip a stitch and into the next one, which is here, we're going to do a single crochet. So you've got your 2 shells now. There you go, 2 shells, and we're going to continue all the way around. So I'll do a few more, and for this bit again we're going to yarn over, skip a stitch into the next, 5 double crochets to make up your shell. 2, 3, 4 and 5. That's 5 into there. Your yarn is now woven in. So for this bit we're going to skip a stitch again, because we're going to do our single crochet into the next one to pin down your shell. I'm going to do one more shell, and then I'm going to let you get on and work your way all the way round until you get to the other end, till you get to the very end, and I'll show you how to do your last shell before we join onto the next bit. So one more shell, here we go. So that's yarn over, skip a stitch into the next, and do your set of shells. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go, and skip a stitch and single crochet into the next. So there we are. So we've got our shells, and I'm going to let you get on until you get to the very end. When you get to the other side, I'm going to show you what to do with your last set of shells. Okay, so now we've done our shells and we've worked our way all the way round to the last shell, and I've got, how many shells have I got here? I've got 1, 2, 3, oops, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, I think that's 11. Yes, I'm going to have my 11th shell now, so it depends how many you can fit in on your size. So I'm going to put my it's not really important how many shells you've got, as long as it looks even and you've got them all the way around evenly. So here at the very end we're going to do the last set of shells. So we're going to skip a stitch. We've done our single crochet, skip a stitch, and into the next one 5 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. 5. There you go. 5 double crochets, and now we're going to slip stitch into the first double crochet at the beginning of the first set of shells. So we're going to slip stitch into there. So you formed a slip stitch. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to start the next round, which is this round. But this round's slightly different because these shells are slightly different. They're layered shells, so they're sort of, they consist of a chain of 6 with 6 double crochets in the middle. That's filled them up. It fills them up. So I'll show you how to do that one, because it's slightly different from these shells. It's a different type. So because it gives you that more sort of wider look. Okay, so now to start this next round of the shells, what we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch again one more time into the back of this shell. Now basically in between the first 2 double crochets of that shell, you've got 5, but the first 2, if you just sort of pull it apart, you can see the grey stitch. So what we're going to do, we're going to slip stitch now to get to this side. So what we'll do, I'll turn it over so you can have a look. So we're going to get our hook and we're going to put it into between those first 2 double crochets, and we're going to pull up a bit of yarn, pull up the yarn, and we're going to slip stitch into that one there. So now you've moved yourself over to this side. Okay, now that we're on this side at the back of this shell, we're going to do a chain of 6. We're going to chain 6. So yarn over, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now we're going to go on to the next set of shells, double crochets, and we're going to go in between again. The first two we're going in between. If you separate them, you can see where the stitch in beforehand is, the grey one. Now you want to take your hook again and you want to go in between these 2 stitches and put your hook right in like that. Okay, so this is what it looks like, and then you get the yarn, pull it through and do a slip stitch. Okay, so you've made a base for your next set of shells. So again, chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and find your next set of shells, which are over here. Put your hook in between the 2, separate them if you have to, and you want to do a slip stitch into there. Okay, chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. And we're going to do another slip stitch into the back, or into the middle I should say, of in between these 2 first. So if you just separate the shell, put your hook in and pull through and do a slip stitch. So now you've got your base for your next set of shells, which will be in between, which will sit in between the first previous row of shells. So it will give it this kind of effect, you know. So you've got the stitches sort of like a scales on a fish, that kind of effect. So that's what you need to get. So we're going to continue all the way round doing this, and I'm going to show you how it's done. So again, chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 in between the next 2 double crochets, and slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in between the next 2 of the shell, and a slip stitch. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in between the next 2 double crochets, and behind do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and just carry on until the very end. Six. Right, so now we're almost at the other end. 1, 2, 3, 4, oops, 5, 6. And you're going to do your last chain now. Now with your last chain, we're going to do 6 again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. And we're going to slip stitch into the first slip stitch that we've done here, just here. We're going to slip stitch. Let's form a slip stitch. So now you have all your chains ready to build another set of shells all the way around. So to do this bit, what we're going to do is we're going to go straight in and do 6 double crochets into this chain, six chain space. 6 double crochets. So yarn over and do 6. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. That's 6. Now you want to join this on to, and you need to join it with a slip stitch into the slip stitch from the previous row. So you just want to do a slip stitch. There you go. And then do another set of 6 double crochets into this space again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Again, slip stitch into the next the last slip stitch of the previous row, and 6 double crochets into this space, the next space. So that's 1, 2, oops, 2, sorry, this thread is a little bit fray, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Sorry, that's 5, not 6, so I'll just put one more. There we go, so that should be right. That's 6 of them. Again, taper it down into the last round slip stitch, and do another slip stitch into that one, and continue all the way around doing the same process all the way around until you get to the other end, and until you get to the last set of double crochets. I will show you what to do next. Okay, so now I'm going to do my last set of double crochets in this 6 chain space. So here we go. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. And then we're going to slip stitch now into the first slip stitch that we created. So we're just going to go into there and slip stitch and finish off. So I'm just going to snip that off. That's finished off. So now you have your shells. Let's just straighten them up a bit. You've got your lovely shells. There you go. That's your shells, and that's where you create the scalloped kind of design edging. Okay, now tying your ends as well, but we can leave that till the end. Now I'm going to show you how to do the armholes. Okay, so for this bit we're going to need some more of the yarn, pink yarn, and we're going to, we can start anywhere. anywhere you want. You could start into this armhole area, but I'm going to start into this space here, and I'm going to bring my new colour through like that. Chain 1, so you've got that in place, and we're going to sort of again weave in the ends with the crochet. So in each and every space around we're going to single crochet, and it's only a border of 1 single crochet. You can do 2 rows of single crochet if you want. I like 1 row because I feel like it's okay with 1 row, but you can do 2. So I'm just going to go into every single space around the armhole, making sure that's in woven in as well. Each of these spaces that you see, you just do a single crochet, or you can do a double crochet. In fact, I'm going to do a double crochet for this bit because it looks much better. I've done a double crochet here, so I'm going to show you how to do a double crochet. You can do a single, which makes it slightly smaller, and you just have a little rim. But to elevate it slightly, so you've got a little bit of height, you can do a double. So let's do a double. I'll put my hook in again, take the colour through, and do a chain 2. Okay, now into every space again, we're going to do a double. So that's double crochet. Get some yarn and double crochet. Crochet all the way around, and that brings it a little bit higher up. But you can do 2 rows of this as well, 2 rows of double if you really want it extra long round the leg area for the animal, for the cat or small dog. If you're going to put you can put this on a small dog or a cat, a kitten even. My kitten's 6 months and fits perfectly well in this. So yes, just keep going round. Every space that you see, you just do a double crochet into it. All the way around. You can do the same stitches on either leg, the same amount of stitching, or you can just do it roughly the same, because it doesn't really show underneath the animal. It's just to sort of give it a little border. And yeah, we're just going to do all of that double crochet all the way around. Okay, and I think that's about right for the last one. And I'm going to do one more actually. And then you're going to slip stitch at the top of the first set of chains that you did, chain 2. So I'm going to put a slip stitch just into there, top of the chain 2. Okay. Right, so just pull through and snip off. So you've got your first leg, and again second leg. Do the same all the way round on this leg, and I'll meet you back here when you finish. Okay, so now we're at the end of the last armhole, and I'm going to do my last slip stitch into the chain 2 over here. So I'm just going to slip stitch into that to join it on, and oops, there we go. So that's our last slip stitch, and we've closed it off. We've closed off the last armhole. So here we are. We've got our, I'm going to sew in the ends now so it looks complete and tidy up, but we've got the whole thing finished now. And for this you'll need, to tie in your ends, you'll need a needle, which I forgot to mention earlier, but you'll need a needle. So we're going to tie in our ends. Just going to thread that through. And just find, go underneath every single loop and pull through your yarn. Make sure it's secure. You don't want it coming undone. Cats tend to pull things apart. So we need to just secure this properly. Go through it a few times. There we go, and snip that off. That's one sleeve. The next one. Right, and into the next one. Okay, just thread it all through till you feel like it's secure enough, a few times backwards and forwards, and snip that off. And then the final thing is the hem, to sew in the ends at the hem line. I'll show you how that's done. Okay, so you've got that put it in somewhere here so it's nice and hidden. Okay, so snip that off, and any other loose ends, just snip it off rather. So I'm going to just do that, and okay, so now you finished your cat sweater, and you've got your layers of 2 layers of shells, and at the back you've got your 2 layers of shells, if you can see them as they escalate, and then you've got your collar. And I hope you liked making this this sweater, and I hope you liked my video, and thank you for watching. And if you liked it, can you please subscribe and click on the notification bell for some more of my videos so you can see loads more. This could be a good idea for Christmas present. Christmas is coming up soon. Christmas fillers, you know, stocking fillers. You could always give someone a present for their cat. Well, thank you for watching anyway. Have a good day.